I don't know why I wasn't going to bring... I forgot to bring this up. I actually forced myself to watch the Oscars last week. Primarily...
How did I also forget to talk about the Oscars? Oh, my God.
Primarily because I love Sinners, and I was really hoping Sinners would do well, which it did.
It did okay.
Do well. I think 4 Oscars they won.
Compared to some, it did very well.
Yes. So, did you watch the actual...
I didn't watch all the show. I watched the second half of the show.
Okay, so I watched the majority of the show.
Yeah.
I have never watched a more cringy thing in my entire life.
Really?
The jokes by the presenters were so fucking bad.
There were times where I was watching it on my headphones while Kelly played Pacopia, and we would just because we were waiting for Golden. And so there were times where I would just take my headphones off. The whole thing with the bridesmaids was one of the worst pieces of television I've ever seen. It was so bad. So bad.
Well, and the thing that pisses me off, and I give credit, somebody brought this up online, they cut the microphone to the acceptance speech for Golden, but they gave the bridesmaid 15, not even like 25 or 30, 15th anniversary, they gave them like
2.5 minutes, 3
more
minutes.
than that.
Yeah.
They gave them way too much time.
Yeah.
And they cut the mic on the people for Golden.
They cut the mic on a few people.
Yeah.
And it's just like, this is my problem with the Oscars every year.
Dude.
Is where are you allocating your time? You keep on saying, we don't have enough time. We don't have enough time. And then you have these bullshit presentation elements that are just garbage. That are just bad and garbage.
But like Conan, who I love, horrible from start to finish.
Even he was like, is the show over yet? Are we done?
Yeah. Not funny for a second.
Yeah.
They had... Did you see the Robert Downey Jr. Chris Evans?
No, I skipped that.
They presented. Holy shit. I like crickets with their jokes in the audience. Everybody that presented, crickets.
Yeah.
It was the worst written thing I have ever fucking seen in my life.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
Yeah.
That I'm like, go back to the days when the presenters would come out and just fucking present the award. You gotta stop having these fucking people who are not funny try to be funny with the worst written material, and they were just fucking horrible.
Well, it's John Cena and his skivvies.
That's
like this kind of shit.
Yeah, it's
like,
worse than that.
For every one where there's Ben Stiller and the lift stops halfway up so he's jumping.
Yes.
That's fucking awesome. That was one of the best bits that they've had in a long time. There's like 9 John Cena and his skivvies, or the bridesmaids making weird passes at people who have DM'd them. And it's just like, this is vaguely inappropriate, and it's not funny.
Yeah.
And you're cutting out entire awards. Entire awards are given on the side now.
Yep.
Because we have to have time for these, at best, milquetoast, and at worst, offensively bad bits. It doesn't make sense. Why are we doing this?
The only good part I can say, I loved Michael B. Jordan winning.
That was great.
Ecstatic.
The
In Memoriam was really well done.
I didn't see the In Memoriam.
It was very well done.
Yeah.
It was incredibly heartbreaking because they had like a lot of the cast members from Rob Reiner's movies all came out, which was great. And then at the end, they ended with Robert Redford, and Barbra Streisand came out to talk about The Way We Were and like them together. The only thing I didn't like is she got a little political, and it was like wrong time. Yeah. Like you're talking about, I know Robert Redford was a political person, but it's like, I agree with everything she said, but it just felt like the wrong moment. But then she ended it, and she sang a little The Way We Were. It was awesome. Yeah. I have watched prior to it One Battle After Another.
I can't bring myself to watch it.
Here's the thing. This movie won Best Oscar. This will go in the pantheon of those movies that have won Best Picture that 5 minutes after it wins Best Picture, no one will fucking remember.
Yeah.
Because I watched it, I'm like, it's all right.
Yeah.
But it's not this event great thing where something like Sinners was a groundbreaking movie that people will remember for decades.
Yeah.
And the fact that fucking didn't win, I knew it wasn't going to win. I honestly was a little hopeful when it won for Best Original Screenplay and then won for Best Cinematography and Best Actor. I'm like, okay, but then usually Best Director and Best Picture go together. Yeah. Sometimes they go
That
off.
was what I found annoying, was that they gave it to PT
yes.
for Best Director. And I was like, oh, good. that clears the way for Sinners. And
Yes.
at least Coogler and Jordan were producers on Sinners, so Coogler's not going to win for directing, but he'll still win an Oscar for producing.
Which he won for the best
He won for
best original
screenplay, but ask Tarantino how it feels to be
This
a
is the Pulp
screenplay
Fiction
winner.
thing I told you.
Yeah.
I sent that to you. It was Pulp Fiction. They're like, we're going to give him the screenplay and never give him a best director.
Yeah.
Tarantino has, once again, folks, has never won best director.
Even for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which was his best attempt to get an Oscar, because he made a movie about the thing Hollywood loves the most, Hollywood.
Yes.
And so it's just like, if you can't do... And he fixed Hollywood history in that movie.
Yes.
He was like, hey, you know this terrible murder?
Yes.
What if it never happened?
Yep.
I fixed it for you guys. And they still were like, best screenplay. And I feel the same way about this, of just like, how can you... I get it. Right, P.T. Anderson probably deserves this, and definitely deserves this for...
Not for this movie.
Other things, but, like, how can you give them both?
Dude.
How can you give them both? Like, the polite thing to do is to split it, right? Even if you don't win for one, you win for the other. And it's just like, what the fuck?
And man? I was infuriated when Sean Penn won Best Supporting Actor. Because Sean Penn in this movie, it's all right. He's forgettable.
Yeah.
Delroy Lindo...
Delroy Lindo keeps getting fucked by the
deserved
Oscars.
that award. I've rewatched Sinners again. He is immaculate in that fucking movie.
He keeps getting fucked by the Academy.
And so I give Kieran Culkin props, because did you see when because Sean Penn wasn't there, and Kieran Culkin said, I will be accepting this award for Sean Penn because he couldn't make it or he didn't want to be here.
Yeah.
That's what he said, and I was like, good for you for fucking pointing out that dipshit wasn't even fucking there.
Yeah.
To
for the first award of the night.
No, it was later on.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, they did it later.
Best supporting is first.
I think they did supporting. I know. Usually, I think they swapped it. The supporting actress was earlier.
That was another one that made me annoyed. I'm not saying Amy Madigan wasn't good in Weapons.
Yeah.
But I am saying that the makeup did the lifting of that character.
Very much so.
That character was weird and creepy because of the makeup, not because of her performance. Yes. Whereas, I'm going to butcher the woman from Sinners, her name.
Oh, she's so great.
She was so fucking good.
Fucking great.
I get it. Wunmi Mosaku. Like, she has been great in everything I've ever seen her in.
Yeah.
She was great in Sinners. She grounded Michael B. Jordan's performance.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the difference in that movie is you have the one side where you have Michael B. Jordan and Haley Steinfeld, and they're up and up and up and up and up and up and up. And then you have the other side, which is Wunmi and Michael B. Jordan, and that's them kind of being, steady.
Yeah.
Consistent.
And tortured because of the loss of their job.
Realistic.
Yes.
Tortured from the realism of their situation, whereas Smoke and his girlfriend are like, no, like, we can go and do whatever we want. Stack and Annie are like, no, we have to, this is the reality of our situation. I want to dream as much as anybody, but I'm going to dream within the reality of our situation, not of some magical world where all of our problems don't exist.
Yeah.
And it's just like, she was great in that. Amy Madigan was really good in Weapons, but what made her creepy was her makeup, not her performance.
Yes.
And
but that's, and I want to get back to the Best Supporting Actor, because once again, Sean Penn win in a role he should not have won for. He's won 2 Oscars. I think he's won two other Oscars
already.
So you don't even need to give him one because he's an actor. You have Delroy Lindo, who was amazing, and then you have Jacob Elordi, who played Frankenstein.
Yeah.
You couldn't give it to one of them two. Both of them were 1,000 times better than Sean Penn.
No, I know.
But because this was the movie of the year that the Oscars had to give everything to, they had to give him the award.
That's the other thing, is like, I am so frustrated with this year's nominations, not in the same way I was last year. In last year, I was insulted by the nominations.
Yes.
I was like, so you are just taking money. You're just highest bidder taking money.
Easy.
This year, it was less that, but it still had elements of that. Of like one battle after another. I get it, but like, I can't stomach that movie. I have a hard time stomaching Paul Thomas Anderson movies to begin with. And this is just like, I live this every day, man.
Yeah.
I don't need to watch the worst case scenario of what I live with every day. I'm good. I'm all set. I don't need this.
Yeah.
And then you look at like the big one is the Timothy Chalamet,
Oh God.
Benny Safdie movie, where I'm just like, Marty Supreme. This is just they want to hang out with the Safdie brothers and Timmy Chals.
Yeah.
Like that's all this is. And by the way, I'm over Timothy Chalamet.
Oh, I can't stand
We
it.
were going to talk about the Dune trailer. I don't have anything to say except I'm over Timothy Chalamet. I'm totally done with him.
I can't think of one thing that he's made that I've enjoyed.
I can think of things that I've seen him in where he was really good. I'm not sure that any of them are movies where I would actively watch them again. He was really good in Call Me By Your Name. He was really good in Little Women. He was really good in a lot of movies.
Yeah, as a secondary, but not the lead.
In Lady Bird, he was really good. I wouldn't watch any of these movies again just for him. You know, like, I don't know if I would ever watch any of those movies again, quite frankly.
Yeah, true.
Like, I'm so done with him and his recent stunts in the public, notwithstanding, his need to date a Jenner, notwithstanding. There's just so many reasons why I'm not into the Chals right now. So, anyway, all of this is to say that the Oscars this year were like, they made some good choices, and then others I was just fully baffled by.
They got to get over this whole bullshit of, well, it's a horror movie, so we can't give that the best.
Yeah.
It's a fucking great movie. That and Frankenstein were easily the two best movies this year.
Oh, but they don't have a social element to them. They have a
that's
social
the problem.
metaphor element to them.
Fucking Sinners has a social element. It shows
Exactly.
it raise a social element.
No, exactly. It has a metaphor element to
Yes.
it, but it doesn't grab you and be like, "Hey, guess what? What happened if the worst case scenario happened politically right now?"
Yeah.
Like, I don't want
And
to
it was
talk
one
about
of the
that.
rare movies where you can see the vampire's point of view and say,
They're not wrong.
they're not wrong. I can kind of see, and they're not just mindless vampires. They actually have an emotional and a great story behind them, and you're like, I get it.
Yeah.
But it's like, no.
Well, and even you can tell because even when the lead vampire is gone, the vampires who remain are still like, no, I still believe the same thing that I did before.
Absolutely.
This isn't like mesmerism where I'm being compelled to believe this.
Yep.
This is like I see life differently now.
Yeah.
And I see that this is stupid and that it will never get better.
Because you get to the very end when you see Michael B. Jordan and Haley Steinfeld like in the present, and they still look really happy.
Yeah.
Like,
they're doing great.
They're doing amazing.
They've been doing better and better year after year.
Yeah.
And it's just like, maybe they were right.
Yeah.
Maybe they were right. I don't know. Maybe they were right. And so the Oscars this year were like,
dude,
at best they were fine. At worst they were dumb and disappointing. And then in between there were some mixed bag elements there as well.
And I hate myself for watching it. I've said I will never watch them again because I know that they've sucked. I really... Like, it takes a movie like Sinners for me to watch just to see them get
That was why I watched,
acknowledgement.
was because Frankenstein and Sinners.
Yeah.
And that was the only reason I watched. And then every once in a while I'd see something, I'd be like, oh, that looks interesting. Like the Joel Edgerton train Paul Bunyan movie.
Yeah.
That looked interesting. I'd never heard anything about that before.
But once again, these movies, like the Hamnet, the train movie, the One Battle After Another, the problem that they keep doing is they want to give awards to these movies, but they're not the type of movies like back in the 40s and 50s that were classics that live forever.
Yeah.
These are movies that people are going to fucking forget the very next week.
You know what I would think would be interesting? We could do it as like a 3-year run that we can opt out of. Is I know that like 10 years ago, everybody, including me, got up in our hackles over the best popular film category being introduced, to the point where the Oscars rescinded it. They said, we're not going to do it. Maybe we go even further. Maybe we have 5 awards, and it's, all genre based, and we just really lean into it. And so it's like best musical, best horror, best action adventure, best drama, and I don't know, best science fiction. And then best picture is at the end of it. And maybe it's like a best in show kind of thing where the winners of the first 4 categories are automatically nominated or something. I don't know. But like the way that they're doing best picture now does a disservice to the audience, does a disservice to the filmmakers, and does a disservice to the show itself. Yeah. It's just like, this is...
I mean, I agree with you. I was even thinking a change they could make is give the voting to the fans.
Yeah. Well, they already have that. It's the People's Choice
But,
Award.
the problem is with a lot of those awards is they don't... Like, what I'm saying is figure out a group of fans and send them all the movies, so they have to watch all of them. Because I think the problem with like some of the other award shows where the fans get to make a choice, you got people who won't see all the movies, and so they're voting on just the one they like.
Yeah.
Where it's like, take a normal human being who's a fan of movies, send them all the best picture options that you have them watch them all, and then vote.
Or like put it out a roster, like say, hey, we're looking for voters. We're looking for like 50 everyday voters. Send us your resume. Send us why you should be able to have a vote in this. Or like have a real gimmicky thing where if you did have a bunch of different categories and then at the end the winner was selected from the 5 other categories and it's just everybody who would make this call is already in the room. So you just have an in-room vote, you know, reach under your desk and there's a little button, you vote one of the 5, and then on the big screen, nobody knows what it's going to be, and it shows you the tally at the end, and whoever wins, wins, you know?
Well, even, like, get YouTubers and podcasters.
Yeah.
There's so many movie review YouTubers and podcasters. Like, even, like, I'm not saying, I know I'm trying to put us in there, but even saying, like, us, be like, all right, we listen to these people, they know what they're talking about when it comes to films, so we're going to give them, and just rotate it year after year. Well, rotate in different people to make these votes.
Real problem is that the Academy is in control of all of this. Yeah. Our solution has been to have the Academy relinquish power. And that's, as we know in so many other forums, they'll never do it.
But what I'm wondering is, will they ever consider it when it gets to the point that, like they've said in 2029, the Oscars are going to YouTube because no one gives a fuck anymore.
Yeah.
Will it get to a point where they're like, we need to make something so drastic or there won't be an Academy?
Well, and if you go to YouTube where people do 7, 8, 9 hour streams, are you just going to do a stream of all the categories and not cut anybody off ever?
There you go.
Because now you don't have a broadcast where you have to be done by 11 p.m. or whatever. You can just continue to stream for however the fuck you want. And if people have to leave, people go. But like, you don't have to have the same requirements on a digital stream as you do on this. Same with like commercials. You can still do commercial breaks. You could just do the whole show, no commercials, all the categories, even go back to doing the honorary Oscar that they did as a segment. And like, people do 9-hour live streams, 24-hour live streams all the time.
And like, I hate the fact that things like, you know, I appreciate in the Golden Globes they have the Cecil B. DeMille Award. They do that at the Governor's Ball for the Oscars. But like a couple years ago when Jackie Chan won, I'm like, I wish that was like in the middle.
They used to do it in the middle of the ceremony.
They used to, but they don't. Yeah,
they don't anymore. But they did. There's a video of I think it's Jim Carrey introducing like Mel Blanc or someone, and it was an honorary award, and it wasn't because he had made anything that year. It was because of all the work that he had done.
Well, one of my biggest
life.
contentions with my fans was, or my friends, is we used to watch the Oscars together, and it was back in like 94, 95. They were giving one of those to Gene Kelly, and I have loved Gene Kelly, and they were making fun of me as it was going on. I got so fucking mad I left.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I just want to fucking listen to Gene Kelly. And they were like, you like Gene Kelly? And I'm just like, fuck it.
Yeah. But no, exactly. No, it used to be a part of the show, and then they took it out. Like, this is the thing, is that when commercials become the big thing, is that we have to have time for commercials. So we have to cut other things. And people think the show is too long, but we can't take out commercials, so we have to have those. So we have to cut the actual show itself, which means we're no longer going to honor the people that the entire show is made for. It's nonsense. The whole thing is nonsense.
Yeah. So it's fucking done. All right, folks. So we will have to be pushing, once again, the Bone Temple has become our 007.
Yes.
Where we're going to have to push it to next week because we can't shut up about everything else.
Every year there's one of these.
There is.
Every year there's one where we're like, we're going to review blank.
Yeah.
And then we spend 6 weeks talking about it.
So next week we'll have a show.
So with Jesus going into the Bone Temple, we will be coming out of the Bone Temple.
Oh, and I will be the devil coming out of the Bone Temple. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been NerdPod Generations, episode 186. Really hope you enjoy it. Please go to nerdpodgen.com. And as I said before, there are links to everywhere to find us. Make sure you subscribe to not only the podcast, but the YouTube channel. And Al, who does our artwork and music?
It turns out that, like in cooking, when you reach for something and it's 2 containers that look the same and you grab the wrong one, I went to grab Bone Temple and I grabbed the box of Tangents. and I poured like 6 doses of tangents
Too
in
many
this one,
tangents.
and it's like, oh no!
Even the ending has a tangent. I mean, that's how many tangents are in this.
Our art is by Kortney Howell. Our music is by Brendan Williams and James Connolly. I am Alfred Judson.
And I'm Steve Taylor.
And until next week, friends and enemies, the Bone Temple calleth.
Oh, it calleth, and I can't wait to talk about it.
Oh, we're going to talk about it. Have a great week, friends and enemies.